I've got a hair on my nose. We're gonna start over. Hey Internet, it's Megan, and today I am back in my normal filming environment. I finally had the chance to go through everything, and I put all of my books on my shelf, and the ones that didn't fit are behind me and in boxes. I have over 150 books in my room right now. At least half of those I haven't read yet. So I am putting myself on a firm book buying, let's see, I don't want to call it a budget, a diet restriction. I'm restricting my buying this for the next little bit. And I am only going to be buying one book a month outside of my Owl Crate, because that's like my favorite day of the month is Owl Crate Day. But in preparation, and I was looking through my Barnes & Noble information here, and they had a list of books that are going to be coming out this month. And so I thought, hey, why don't I make a video about that? Because a lot of people just go into a bookstore and they're like, I wonder what I can find. And this way I can tell you a little bit about 5 of the books that interest me, and hopefully you guys will be interested too. I'm actually going to put a link down below to all of the books that sounded interesting, and I made a little shelf on my Goodreads account for it. So that's for October 2017, and I had a really hard time narrowing it down to 5 books. But here we go. A few of these books will have already come out, 2 of them to be exact, but they all sounded just so good that I have to bring them up now, because 2 of them you can go out and buy if you're interested. What is better than that? But we're gonna go ahead and start off with 2 books that came out on October 3rd. So the first book that sounded amazing, and I'm really excited for it, is Among the Red Stars by Gwen C. Katz. And I came across this Tumblr post a long time ago, and I love Tumblr. The post itself was about the Night Witches, which were Russian airwomen who were flying these horrible planes, and they would stall out while they were in the air. So they would like go up to as high as they could possibly go, turn off their engines, and just kind of coast down over their target and then drop their bombs and then turn it back on and fly off. And they were called the witches because nobody could ever hear them coming. And these women just sounded so amazing, and I wanted to learn more about them. I never did. I'm horrible at that. But that being said, someone wrote a book about it. It's so cool. So the book itself is inspired by the airwomen the Nazis called Night Witches. So the story is about this girl named Velka, and World War II has really destroyed her homeland. And she has this skill for flying, and so she decides that she's going to use it to help with the war effort. And she's flying this horrible plane, and she is just really wanting to make a difference. And the issue here is that the idea that she wanted to do this was great and all, but the reality of dropping bombs on people just kind of hits her really hard. And as the war intensifies, she actually finds herself drawn to another boy from her hometown, and she's just trying to figure out how she's supposed to defend her country and keep herself safe. And this book just sounded so good that I put it on my list, and when my book buying restriction is gone, I will be buying this because it sounded so good. The second book that is on my list that also came out October 3rd is Satellite by Nick Lake. And this book is, well, it kind of reminded me the synopsis of The Space Between Us with Asa Butterfield and Britt Roberts, I think is her last name. I don't remember her last name, but Britt something. This boy and these twins were born on a space station, and they've never set foot on Earth. They've been raised by astronauts, and they are intensely training to go down to Earth. They have been preparing for so long to go to Earth, but when they get there, they are not prepared at all. And the story is about them, I think it's about them on Earth and learning what it means to live on Earth and how to function and everything. And I kind of, okay, so a lot of people didn't like The Space Between Us. I loved it. I thought it was great. And I thought it was such a fun story. And I really am excited to put this one on my shelf when my restriction is gone. So that is the second book, and I definitely do want to pick it up. The next book is one that totally like hits my Halloween and spooky loving heart here, and it's called The Hollow Girl. It's by Hilary Monahan, and the story is about some Romani gypsies. Well, this girl, her name is Bethan, and she is an apprentice to a healer. And one day she's out with her friend, I think it's Martine or Martin, and they're attacked by this group of boys from their village, and they are brutalized, really. And Martine is on the edge of death. Bethan decides she's going to do everything she can to bring Martine back from the brink of death, and she asks her mentor to help her. Well, all magic comes with a price, and this is going to be some pretty intense magic. So she has to get a select list of ingredients. These grisly pieces include an ear, some hair, an eye, a nose, and fingers. Ugh. And so she gives these boys, who assaulted her and her friend, the chance to come forward and to apologize for what they've done. But, of course, they refuse. They don't believe that they'll be held accountable for what they've done, and so she knows exactly where to get her ingredients. And this book just sounded so creepy and completely up my alley. I love horror novels. I love things like that. It's funny, I hate scary movies. Love horror novels. Go figure. But it sounded so good, and I am excited to see that come out. It's coming out on the 10th, and I really want to pick it up, but I can't. It's hard. The fourth book that is coming out this month is on October 17th, and it is called The Midnight Dance by Nikki Katz. And there are two people with the last name Katz, and I love cats, and that has nothing to do with this video, but cats. This book seems kind of like it's based on the 12 Dancing Princesses, which I do love that fairy tale, and I think it's so interesting that someone has written a story about this. And the story is about 17-year-old Penny. She's the lead dancer at this exclusive finishing school where she and 11 other young women are training, and they're overseen by this mysterious young master. And so this living in this estate has been the only life they've ever known. But Penny starts to have flashes and visions of a life she doesn't remember, and these things start to like nag at her in the back of her mind, and so she starts to question everything about where she is. And there is a kitchen boy named Cricket who is very interested in helping her, and they're becoming quick friends, and he offers to help her in her quest to escape this finishing school, except for the master thwarts their plans at every turn. And I am really interested in this. I do think it's going to have that romantic aspect, but it's going to be more of a dark romance, I think. Just the way that, the vibe that the synopsis is giving, and it sounds like something I want to put on my shelf. I only get one book this month. This is very difficult for me. The last book here comes out October 31st, and it's called Otherworld. It's by Jason Segel and Kirsten Miller. And actually, I'm just going to read you the synopsis because it sounded so good, and it just kind of gave me the same vibes as Warcross, but we're just gonna read it. So it says, the company says Otherworld is amazing, like nothing you've ever seen before. They say it's addictive, that you'll want to stay forever. They promise Otherworld will make all your dreams come true. Simon thought Otherworld was a game. Turns out he knew nothing. Otherworld is the next phase of reality. It's everything you've ever wanted. And it's about to change humanity forever. And, oh, yes! Okay, so there was this book series that I read when I was younger. It's the Pendragon series, about this kid who flips between different worlds. And one of the worlds that he lands on, where he's trying to make sure this cataclysm doesn't happen, is a world where everybody's hooked up to this virtual reality and everything is perfect and their bodies are just sitting there wasting away. And this, it sounds like such an interesting concept, and I'm really excited to read this book about it. Yeah. So that is it for the 5 books that I have found this month that I want to own, but I can only pick one. So that is it for this video. I am possibly going to do a poll on Twitter if you guys want to check out my Twitter. It's down below. Just to see which one of you guys think I should buy, and I will be doing a review on it once it's done. So I am done with this video, and I hope I will talk to you guys soon, and I hope you guys are enjoying whatever you're reading. So have a great day.